Let's talk about.
How's your life, buddy? Bet you ain't better than mine.
Oof.
How's that Sonata fucking treating you?
Let's talk about the big jump over for anyone that doesn't know the mechanics of it. When's the first time you are contacted by someone in
Scott
WCW?
is contacted
Scott
first.
is contacted.
Scott is contacted. Scott just went up and asked Vince basically, what am I doing wrong? He said, nothing. You're fantastic. You're doing everything I can ask you. And he says, oh, my pay's plateaued for 2 years. Like I need to make more money. And, just like, the money was tight, the money wasn't, we all heard what they made before us. It was like the new generation came along and, I think Brett was one of the ones that killed us because Brett took that belt and took it for a lot cheaper than he should have. And he could have, he should have, as the leader of us, that's one of the reasons that, when they came to me, the boys kind of were like, all right, well, this big prick he'll scream.
So that's interesting. I think you've told me this before, something about he's the $500,000 champion or something.
Well, I don't know what he made, but he
or
did.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Maybe that wasn't you. Somebody called him like the $50,000 champion or something like that, meaning...
the belt meant more than the pay.
Right, and because he didn't raise the standard for what a top performer in WWE should be, that benchmark was so low that Vince could always point to it and go, well, Kev, you're asking this. I got my champion making this.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't move on the scale because Brett was low.
Brett was low.
Okay.
And then, I argued pays all the time. I argued payments on almost every week. I would argue some kind of a payment where I'd say, well, because I kept books. I'd be like, well, I made $3,200 on a $60,000 house, and we go back 4 months later, we got $118,000. I make $29,000. Like, what math is that?
Right.
We spent more bullshit. You spent more advertising. You fucked me.
So Scott asks Scott asks Vince
for more money.
He doesn't get a satisfactory answer.
No. So Scott. I think he was talking to Dally, and Dallas said, let me see what they're willing to offer you. And I think that the numbers that came to Scott were $750, $850. Right.
So then one day, while lathering his balls in the shower, he turns to you and says,
Kev, you got a hand? No. He said, hey, I'm gonna go back to WCW. And I was like, he goes, this is what they're offering me. He says, but make sure he says, I'm just the IC guy. He says, you're the champ. He says, make sure you get more because I got favorite nations and it'll bump me up. So whatever you get, I'm going to get. So I'm like, well, I said, I'm not interested to leave. So it's, I know the story's been told before, I'm sure on this. We go to that Louisville pay-per-view, me and Brett have the cage match. Mm-hmm. And what I needed for a finish was I needed to stick Brett with a power bomb and start walking to the door like I got him beat, take me underneath.
Yeah.
And then during all that, have Brett, dead man, crawl out. Would have never said that he was beaten.
Right.
It just made me and Mark's angle mean more because it looked like it cost me the title. Yeah. And we were going to co-main event WrestleMania. I walked out, Vince folded. We all sat in the room. Taker fucking was the first time I saw Mark jump up. He goes, motherfucker, everything isn't about you.
To Brett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was hot. Because we needed that. Like we're trying to fucking draw money.
Yeah.
And
that first scenario that you said, that was Vince's proposal of how it should go down.
The Powerbomb? No, that was mine.
Oh, that was yours. Okay.
I'm saying, I'm looking at the finish. I'm saying this is how I think we get the most yardage out.
Okay.
Brett stays where he's at. He's dropping the fucking belt to Shawn anyway at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
We all know that. What the fuck does it matter if he looks strong in a cage match? You know, like you're gonna fucking elevate ours, which is gonna elevate buy rates, which means we all get paid more money. The minute fucking Vince folded on that, and he said, we'll just do it Brett's way. Finished that match, came back with my fucking this leg of my pants all cut up. I walked in, I saw Scott. I said, I'll fucking be joining you.
Who did you call Dallas at that point?
Oh, Scott called Dallas. And I called Barry Bloom. I said, Barry, I take care of my shit.
But you do still go back, if I'm not mistaken, and give Vince a chance.
Talked to him at Stockton, California. I talked to him out in front of the building. I just said, dude, I don't want to. I said, man, I said, Vince, I don't want to leave. But like, you know, and people don't realize this. You know, I appeared 2 days ago. June 10th was my first appearance on Nitro. My son is born June 12th.
Yes.
So my wife is 6.5 months pregnant. I don't know from fucking day to day if I'm going to be able to pay my bills still, depending on what my WrestleMania payday is. And, you know.
Were things that bad?
Yeah, it was fucked up. We'd go to Europe and have to take $200 draws every night just to fucking go home and pay our fucking bills. It sucked.
So you tell Vince the number, right, that you'd need.
I said, you don't have to match it. I said, just guarantee it. Yeah. So I can fucking, I'm good at managing money. You know, if you tell me I'm going to make $600,000, then fucking I can break that down to 52 weeks into time. You know, I'll do my quarterlies. I'm going to have this left. I can buy this house, this car, do this, have this vacation. But if I don't know if I'm making fucking 210 or 600, fuck, then you're living on ravioli. Mm-hmm. And I'm not living on fire. I said, fuck this. I'm having a kid. Mm-hmm. And I got a guy that's telling me, come over here. We work at the same drive-through window. Yeah, granted, fucking it's Hardee's, but we'll pay you twice as much for half as many shifts. Okay.
Was there a lot of negotiation back and forth
Nope.
with Eric, or you took the deal that they offered?
They offered us that, they bumped it up. I think it was like...
$750, $850, $950, right? 3 years?
But they bumped it to like $850, $950.
Okay. And then the favored nations thing where
Scott
it would be
got that
proportional.
same.
But you had that too?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So then the genius of the bring back Diesel Razor, they renegotiated and bumped us again because they thought somehow we were...
Oh, I never heard this.
Yeah, they bumped us again. They called us. This is the one that Eric has no recollection from, but boy, me and Scott do. My pager goes off. I'm in Daytona Beach. My pager goes off. I go to this convenience store on Nova Road, pick up the telephone, call the 404 number, and they said, we're sending a private plane. It's on its way to pick up Scott. It'll pick up you second. We met at Jock and Jill's restaurant in the CNN Center. Nick Lambros, Bischoff, did the deal on a napkin, shook hands, went home, and Scott and I were about $800,000 richer apiece and longer. Got like another 9 months.
Why again?
Because they thought that somehow we'd never left New York. And that fucking Vince was crazy enough.
Oh, they were sweetening the pot because they thought you were being tempted.
Well, they just thought we were leaving. That we would never, like this was our plan the whole time. Like,
did you do anything to plant that seed in their head or anything?
Not until they did.
Yeah.
Once they did on the way up, me and Scott are like, well, fuck, we gotta run with this. Like they think we're fucking bolting, man. Let's not act like, let's might not be overzealous here. If you would have saw their faces when they're at that monitor the day that fucking, I think Ross was the one that introduced them on Raw. They said, Big Daddy Cool Days on Razor. And those two guys came out and they just looked at that screen and looked over at me and Scott like, God, really? Like, we just went like,
wow. So they
that makes
heard
the
it.
finger poke of doom look pretty fucking weak.
That's amazing. Do you talk to Sean and Hunter and and
Sean's getting his dream. You know, Sean's being anointed. That is the place. I mean, it's not like WCW was the place to be. And Hunter was undefeated. You know, Hunter was getting a hell of a push. So there was, I mean, you know, it was like Hunter always dreamt of, you know, being from New Hampshire. Had always dreamt of, there was no place he ever wanted to work except there. You know, WWE. So, and then Sean was getting his childhood dream. So, and me and Scott were getting paid.
Right. Well played by Trips, I think.
Yes.
One might say.
Yes.
Was Vince angry or
disappointed.
okay?
He understood why we made the decision. He couldn't play the game because he knew if that was the case, then Taker, Brett, Sean, all of a sudden you get what you got when we left. You know.
Did you guys have any kind of like? Was there any kind of send off or a big night out?
The curtain call was pretty much it.
Any that wasn't captured on tape? Go to a big bar, have a going away party.
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Remember Vince's last words before you left? Was there a moment? Was there like a shaking hands?
No, I mean, he just said that when you walk out this door, Diesel dies. Which resonated because he made Diesel. You know, the only reason Turner's give me money is what Vince did. You know, Vince made the Frankenstein monster. They fucking Oz, Vinny Vegas, and Master Blaster together. Fucking, you know,